Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about a very important topic in our life. How to say no. I'm going to give you a very simple method to say no. In life, sometimes what happens, we end up saying yes for each and every request, right? And which normally consume our time and energy, and at the end, we end up being disappointed. So today I'm going to give you a very interesting strategy how to say no. Okay, because in some time we need to say no because we don't want to waste our time, we don't want to waste our energy, and we need to focus more on our goals, right? So we don't have to say yes to all the requests whatever we get in our life, right? So I'm going to give you a very simple strategy how we can actually say no. The strategy name is the Hourglass Method. I hope you know what is an hourglass, right? An hourglass we normally funnel with sand, right? But here instead of sand, we are actually funneling with the decisions. So how does this hourglass work? There are first three steps in this process. One, the flash response or the immediate response. And the second one, take a strategic pause, right? And the third one, considered response. So these are three steps in this process. So let us analyze what are these three steps in detail. So when you get a request, maybe either through a mail or through a text or through a call, or someone directly come and ask you to help him for some job or some activity, or just go along with him for a coffee or tea, whatever it may be, right? So you understand that you got a request now. So normally what happens, we normally jump into say yes immediately because we don't want to make him feel sad, right? We want him to be happy, the other person to be happy, or he should not feel bad. So we make sure that we immediately say yes. So instead of that, first take a pause and find out what was your flash response, what was your immediate response. Was it yes or a no? If it is no, then it's okay, no, right? You understood I have to say no, so you can say no. That also I'll tell you how you can say no later. But you understood, okay, now you got a response yes, right? Because you don't want to make him feel bad, so you want to say yes. Now you need to put into the second step. So in second step, this yes, either you can note down in a paper or you can note down in your mind, but you are not responding to the person, right? Then in the second phase, what you are going to do is, again, you have three steps, right? First, understood the motives. Understood the motive of the person and understood the motive of you, if you say yes, right? So if the person is calling you for a tea, when you are very busy with your work and someone is calling you for a tea, right? Or he is telling, can you please help me to do this job, right? Then first understand what is the motive. So he has a motive to complete the job, or he has to finish his job faster, or he wants a time pass to go out and a relaxation by having a tea, right? So you know that this is what his motives. And what is your motive? Your motive, if I say yes, right? So what is going to happen? Is that activity, whatever he told, is going to help me to achieve my goal, right? Is it going to support my goal? Or if not going to support my goal, is there any help in future I need from that person, right? Is that person can help me in future to accomplish my goals, right? To do some of my work, so whatever it may be, correct? So you understood the motive of the person and you understood the motive of you, right? If you say yes, this is what your motive. Then you analyze what was the history, because you had the similar kind of experience previously. So during those time, what had happened is that, like, you said yes to someone and you end up spending a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy, and at the end you couldn't finish your work on time. Is that something happened like that before? Or you helped in the similar kind of situation when it was there, you helped that person, and later he could also help you to achieve some of your goals or to complete some of your projects. right? So you understood, you analyze what was the previous history, what was happened previously, right? So now you know the clear answer. This was the motives and this was the history happened. So the history was good, so I can say yes, right? Or if the history was bad, then better to say no, right? So the second step is history. Then third step is future, right? So what can be the future? Now if I say yes, what is going to happen? So I need to spend another half an hour to 1 hour with him to have the tea or to do his work or to help him in some projects, right? So is it worth for me, right? So yeah, I am ready to now do it. But if I do that, what is going to happen in the future? He will help me whenever I need a help, because I need his help in doing some other activities, right? So you understood what is the future, what is going to happen in the future. Now you have three steps in the second phase, where you understood the motives, you understood the history, and you understood the future. Now it's a considered response. Now what should it be the response? Now you understood, okay, you got a request from your colleague that can you please help me to do this project. Now immediate response was yes or no, right? Let us say it was in yes. And now you went to the second phase. You first understood the motives. Okay, he had to complete some project immediately and submit to his higher level. At the same time, you understood that, okay, if I help him, he can actually help me in future. So you understood, and you went back and you again checked what was happened previously, the history. You understood that when I helped him previously, he also helped me in my projects, right? So you are very clear about the history. And future, you know that he is a helpful person, he can help me in future, right? So you understand that, okay, this whatever activity I am doing, it's going to actually give me also back, right? Give me a good result in the future. Or let us say the activity whatever he is asking me to do is going to help me directly in doing my projects, right? It is actually supporting my goals. Then you can actually go and help. So you know that this is what now. So now the consider response. Now the consider response is yes, right? So you can say him yes, correct? Because it's actually related to your goal, or it can actually, not immediately, at least in future, it can actually give you a good result back, right? But at the same time, you understood, the immediate when the request came, when someone sent you a message or email or a call, you understood, okay, your immediate response was yes, and you went to the second phase. And in second phase, you first understood the motive. So his motive was to complete his project immediately, to finish his project faster. And what is your motives? Your motives, like, if I do something, I don't think so he can help me in my future, in my projects or in anything, right? And what was the history? Historically, you had a bad experience. Similar kind of situation you faced with him or someone else, and you had spent a lot of time, lot of energy, lot of money, whatever it may be, and at the end you got disappointed, right? So you had a bad history. So the future also can be the same. It's not going to give you any good result in this one, right? And your time will be wasted, your energy will be wasted. So what you understood, your considered response will be no, right? Then you have to represent that no to that person, right? So this is how this funnel works, the glass door funnel works. So now you have three phases in glass door, and see, once you start practicing, it will not be so complicated of how I explained you. It's just a less than 1 minute process. Okay, so first you got it and you put it to the first flash response, then you put it to the second phase, and in second phase again you have 3 steps, and after that the consider response, right? So you have the funnel right now. So at the end, if the consider response is no, how to say that no? Because we don't want to make other person feel bad, right? We want him to accept properly, or we want to convey the message in a proper way, right? So how to say that no to the other person? That's what I'm going to now give you. So when someone say this and you understood your consider response is no, you can actually go and say, I'm really sorry, I'm slightly busy at my work, so I'm really sorry, I won't be able to help you this time, right? That's the number one, this one. But in some case where you know that this person actually can help me in future, or I don't want to make him feeling bad because he's one of my very close friend, whatever. So what you can say, you want to help him, but not every time. Then you can go and say that, my dear friend, I will help you this time, okay, but not every time, right? That you can say. But you say sometime it happens, it was someone of your senior, and you don't want to make him feel bad, and you want him to be happy, but you don't want to immediately say him no. So what you can do, you can just say, sir, can I just take a half a day or one day to respond to you back, right? Take a permission, so that your delayed no will not affect him much, right? But sometimes what happens, when you immediately respond with a no, they may feel bad. So instead of that, what you can do, you can delay the response. You just request him, like, or her, that can I take a half a day, or can I take a one day and respond you back, and respond him back within the time limit, saying, I'm really sorry, this time I won't be able to help you, right? Because I am stuck in some other project or some work, right? So that's another way. Or again, sometimes you are really busy, and you don't have a time, or you don't want to make other person feeling bad. So you can actually give another option. So you can say that, I'm slightly busy right now, I'm really sorry. Why don't you go and check with the other person, right? So you can actually divert to that person. You can actually give another option, right? Or you can just say that, oh, I'm really busy right now, why don't you go and check this article, that article can help you to solve this problem, right? So you can actually bypass, or you can actually divert that, or give another option to get the solution, right? Or another way is, like, you can say that, I'm right now completely busy, I'm sorry, I'm completely busy right now, I can do it once I finish this job, right? So if that is very critical for him, he won't be able to wait for you, right? He will try to find out some other option. But meanwhile, you can finish your job, and once you finish your job, then you can, if you have a time, if your time permits, you can go and do his work, right? So friends, this when you get a response, or when you get a considered response no, it has to be communicated properly. Then you also make sure that it has to be communicated in a proper way, right? So that that other person can understand you, and he will not feel bad, and he will also find out some other options, right? So friends, these are the way you can actually respond to or convey your no to the other person, right? But what I want to say is, see, for me it's very easy to say immediately, this is how you need to practice it, right? But it is not very easy for you to implement it, right? So it is only by practicing you can implement it. So start practicing it. Start practicing it whenever you get this kind of situation. Put those requests into the hourglass and pass through the funnel and find out what is the considered response. And if it is no, you try to use these phrases what I told to convey the no, right? So by only by practicing you can become an expert. And once you become an expert, you will be able to actually easily avoid a lot of unwanted things, right? Sometimes it can be you may be having some friends who keep on ask money from you and take money from you, and they never return you back, and you wanted to say no, but you don't know how to say no, you don't want to feel him bad, so you keep on give the money, and at this end you get disappointed, at the other end he enjoyed. There you have to say no, and how to say no, this is the way to say no, right? Or sometimes you are very busy at your office work, and you know that you don't have a time, but since you don't want to make other person feeling unhappy, you jump into that and consume a lot of your time and energy. There again, at the end you get disappointed. You are supposed to say no there, right? So this is the way how you can actually convey your no to the other person. So first you put into the funnel, and if consider response is no, then you use any one of these phrases and convey that no to the other person, right? So friends, before winding up, I want to invite you to my masterclass. I have scheduled a couple of masterclasses next week, and the link to register for the masterclass is there in the description. So click on the link and register for the masterclass. I'll meet you at the masterclass. And before winding up, I have one more request. If you're not yet subscribed my channel, click on the subscribe button and click on the like button. Comment in the comment box what is your key takeaway from this video, and share this video with your loved one. So thank you very much. Wishing you all a happy and successful life.